to put your property in 20, 30 real estate group chats that I have. I'm going to put your property in over 50,000 social media followers that I have. I'm going to call every realtor I know. I'm going to call every buyer I know. I'm going to call, man, I'm just going to call everybody else. And Mr. Seller, Mr. Expired, or Mr. For Sale by Owner, are you going to do that?
My name is Kevin McIntosh, and this is The Closing Table, where we talk to experts about their experience in real estate all across the country. Let's go. Welcome to the Closing Table Podcast. I am your host, Kevin C. McIntosh. Joining us on this episode, very excited to talk to this man, another real estate professional representing his market, welcoming Al Abdallah to the Closing Table. How are you, Al?
Doing great. Thank you, Kevin, for having me. Appreciate the invite.
Hey, man, thank you. Thank you so much for your participation and your patience being here on the Closing Table, Al. So I want to get to know you a little bit more before we really start digging into the business part. So in 60 seconds or less, can you tell us, Al, who you are outside of real estate?
Outside of real estate, I am was a professional drummer for 25 years, traveling around the world with superstar singers. I love sports, and I love exercising. I love to, smile. I love to be the spotlight in every event, not for ego reasons, but more I just like to make everybody happy, everybody laugh. And I'm also a professional MC at concerts and parties. I stopped doing
Okay.
all that about almost 10 years ago, but every 3, 4, 5 days a week I was parties and concerts, and also a realtor 6 days a week. So and that's who I am. I don't know if I said
Oh,
enough.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, man, the world's most interesting man right here is who we're talking to, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Al, you've lived like 1,000 lives, it sounds like, man. But I love to hear it. Like I said, I done a little bit of research on you, so
Yeah.
I know that you are a sports fan,
Yeah.
a Michigan fan. Shout out to Michigan for winning the national championship recently. Got to celebrate that.
Yeah.
But good. Love to hear it, man. Love to hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, what you got right there?
Yeah. That's called national champions. That's what it's called.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Oh, yeah, he had the proof.
That's
That's
right.
what I'm
That's
talking
right.
about.
Yep.
Love it. All right, so let's talk about business.
Yep.
Your business, a little
Sure.
specific. I want you to describe your real estate business. If you are able to hit on a few key points, how long you've been licensed, what notable achievements you have in your career, and any of your niche or specialty, if you can.
Absolutely. I've been in the business for 27 years now, and it feels like I started yesterday because now my son is almost 23, and that's just even more weird to me.
Oh,
Yeah, I do have. I've been in business 27 years. I do have 3 kids: a 27, a 16-year-old daughter, and a 2.5-year-old son. So that was like the new surprise to the family. Same wife, same family, same marriage. All right.
beautiful.
But anyways, yeah, 27 years in the business. I started in the business with my brother Dave for 22 years. So he was an agent and had an assistant. He was a listing agent, buyer's agent, all the above. And I always knew I was gonna get into the real estate business because I always drew houses and cars in school. That's just always been my niche,
Wow,
my
okay.
world. And then at 17, I built my parents' house right out of high school. Like I didn't build it, but I coordinated everything, with the builder, the contractors, and all that. So I always knew real estate is going to be my niche, my world, my life. I didn't go to college because I was a professional drummer, so I was traveling around the world
Mm.
right out of high school. And when I got into the business with my brother, who was my mentor, my coach, and the person that opened up many doors for me, he was a part of the Mike Ferry organization, a part of Floyd Wickman, different real estate coaches, and then I became a part of that. And when we became a team together, it was really cool that he was the book smart, I was the street smart, and he put a book
Mm.
and a street together. You build a dynasty.
Yes,
And
sir.
that's what we
Yes,
did. And
sir.
we added on agents to the team, more staff, etc., and became the number one selling real estate team in the Century 21 system in the state of Michigan. And then our goal was to become number one in the country. We achieved that. Then our goal was to become number one in the world. We achieved that. So, it was a lot of hard work, a lot of practicing, role playing, rehearsing, but we
Mm-hmm.
achieved it. We got
Mm-hmm.
to it. And then about 5 years ago, I I went on my own with EXP Realty, and it's been 27 years. Been 5 years here with the company. I opened up my own office about almost 4 years ago, and
Okay.
just been, you know, I can thank God, and I can thank my brother, and I can thank everybody else around me that's helped me get to where I got to. And I'm still working today. I'm still boots on the ground. I'm still running a team, running a business, running an empire, running a everything else. But look, at the end of the day, I still come to work, I still show up, and I still uh, implement.
There you go. There you go. I love that, man. I can see the passion and the excitement in your face and the glow. You got a nice glow. I know it has to feel good to be in business, not only be in business with your brother or family member, but have a successful business for over 20 years for that
Yeah,
matter, man. So I can completely understand
yeah,
that feeling first and foremost, man. But great work. You're putting boots to the ground. You're actually getting things done. You're moving it forward, man. So
yeah,
love to hear that.
yeah.
Love to hear that. So you already said Michigan is your stumping ground. So let's dig a little bit more into it. As far as your market, just describe it for our audience who may have never been there. Describe it as far as the weather, as far as the people, just as much as you probably can, just geographically go into that.
Yeah. So for people to relate to Michigan, we're the auto world. Okay, so the big three, you got Ford, Chrysler, GM here. Their headquarters all here. So this is Motown, Motor City.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a lot of the medical, a lot of the car industries here. So a lot of your engineers are here, and we have Greenfield Village in Dearborn. So I'm from Dearborn, Michigan. That's where Ford headquarters is based out of. We have
Mm-hmm.
Greenfield Village. That's historic, village of how people lived back in the 1800s and 1900s and whatnot. It's a very nice, it's a very hardworking, employed state. There's just everybody works.
Yeah.
There's the Great
Yeah.
Lakes. We have a lot of lakes here. We probably have them. From what I know, we have the most registered boats in the whole country in the state of Michigan. Even though we're not a warm state, we're not the
Right.
South Florida or whatever. But there's a lot of water, a lot of lakes. So if you want to know who Michigan is, other than the national champions in football, sorry, sorry
Tell
for
them.
sorry for the Michigan haters. Okay, I love you
Tell them.
guys. It's our first national championship since
Come on,
1997, so we
man.
had to say that. But anyways, so Michigan on your map. We have to talk about that again. You have to bring it up again, right? Anyway, so Michigan is the mitten on
There's the
the
hand.
mitten
Yep.
on the map. That's who we are.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I would tell you, Florida sounds better. California sounds better. Texas sounds better. All these warmer states sound better than Michigan. But I've traveled around the world many times as a professional drummer, and home sweet home, man. Look, at the end of the day, it's where you grew up, is your home, is your base, and that's what Michigan is to me.
Mm-hmm.
My family, my friends. I'm Lebanese, so we have a very, very high, diverse culture in Michigan. There's a lot of diversity here, and a lot of different nationalities, different
Yes.
religions, etc.
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
Dearborn Heights is a very, very high populated Arabic nationality. And
Correct.
it kind of feels good that all the restaurants, all the stores, all the things you need for your nationality, your food, your whatever is here. And it's well over, I think, 300,000 Lebanese or whatever living all
Mm.
in the same area, which is pretty cool.
Yes, yes, I love it too, man. Being someone from Detroit, also graduating from high schools in Detroit, man. I love Detroit. Like you said, a melting pot. The entire Metro Detroit area, for that most part. Like you said, Dearborn being heavily populated with the Arab American community. You have Southwest Detroit that's heavily populated with the Mexican American community, and just the inner city with the African American. There's a great diversity of cultures within that Metro Detroit area, and I love it. All 4 seasons, like you said, you're a traveling man, so you've been able to compare the different markets, different cities, and it's no place like home.
Yeah,
And we national championships now, so we can claim all that.
that's right.
Love
That's
that.
right. Go Lions.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Oh, let's go,
yeah.
man.
Go
All right,
Lions.
so let's get into the
Yeah.
numbers,
Yep.
data. If you can describe your market economically when it comes to real estate, what are the numbers looking like? Average prices, average list prices, the numbers that you're seeing, days on market, the adjustments since last year to this year. Please go into it.
Yeah, Kevin, Michigan is pretty interesting. Okay, aside the food and diversity and all that stuff, um, the market in Michigan, man, you can go from parts of Dearborn that are $1 million plus. Like one neighborhood can be $1 million, $2 million, to literally half a block over 200,000.
That's a
Then
fact.
you can go from
That's a
neighborhoods
fact.
are $50,000 for a house to 10,000. Then you go from 10,
That's a
20,
fact.
50,000 to 500,000. The range
Mm-hmm.
is all over the place. So what I tell clients
Mm-hmm.
is, what is it you can afford? And that's where it determines where you can live, right? But,
Right, right.
I think a lot of people like to, average, I don't know, you can say give or take 150, 200,000. If you really look at combining everything. I'm not big on averaging and percentages and all
I feel
that,
you. Okay,
but I can tell
okay.
you in general, most of your properties probably today with market and all that, I'll say in the 200,000 range. But if you want luxury, nicer, better, you can go Plymouth, Northville, Bloomfield, then you're into the 500 to a million or a million
Yeah,
plus.
easily.
Michigan
Yep.
is not like a million and up state. It's primarily under a million because there's not so many homes for 1.5, 2.5, 3.5. You can count them on your fingers how many are in a certain area. But the
Mm-hmm.
majority
Mm-hmm.
of sales in Michigan, I'll say, are under a million. The majority, the highest percentage would be 500,000 under.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
you
agree,
know.
100%. And that's what I love about, I mean, Michigan is a whole state plus with the Upper Peninsula. So I hate to blanket the whole thing like you said too, but for the most part, all of Michigan that I know of, relative to other states, other markets, man, it is
Oh,
one of the most
yeah,
affordable places to get a home,
yeah,
if you ask me.
100%.
Obviously we were affected by the pandemic like others, but just like you said, even that still keeps homes under $300,000, $400,000. You go anywhere else, Vegas, Nevada, California, Texas, even Arizona, you're going to see homes easily for
Yeah, in
$500,000
California,
easily.
500,000, you get the garage.
Oh, that's a fact.
Yeah,
You're renting a room.
yeah. And the thing is, Kevin, I handle, so I'm one of the few agents that handles, statewide and nationwide.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've got a team, I've got a
Mm,
great operation where I'm doing business, UP, Grand Rapids, Marquette, Ontonagon, St. Helen, Lansing, the borders of Indiana, Ohio. Then I've got my team that handles, different parts of the country. So not many
right.
agents can say, I service the whole state or I service the whole country. I am one of those because I also specialize in probate, which we'll get into later. But in
Mm-hmm.
general, I have I've set up my team where I can do business anywhere and everywhere without moving, stationed here.
Right. Nice, nice. That's how you run a business right there. Love that right there.
Yeah.
So you also mentioned when we talked offline
Hmm.
that one of your specialties or niches is for sale by
And
owners.
expireds.
All right, right, and
Yep.
expired. So I find that to be interesting. I want to talk about
Yeah.
that, starting with the FISBOs
Yeah.
properties. How are you, like, what side of the for sale by owners are you? Are you still representing the seller in some
Yeah.
sort of way?
Yeah.
And how do you find yourself in that situation representing the seller who technically preferred to be self-managed in that transaction?
I'm a listing machine. So I started out in the business as a buyer's agent with my brother, and then transitioned to buyers and sellers agent, and then became strictly listing agent, sellers agent. And
Mm-hmm.
the top producers in the industry have learned how to prospect expires for sale by owners, unconditional withdrawals, and that's what we all. That's all we knew how to do.
Right.
Practicing, rehearsing scripts and dialogue, etc. So for many, the business to last, you got to list. So list to last, right? Listings is the
Mm.
name of the game. So you can work with buyers, but working with sellers, you'll last longer and you can handle a lot more because a buyer can take you out 5 houses, 10 houses, 20 houses. A seller, you go one time. But you have to know what to say, how to say, when to say. You have to know how to ask the right questions. You got to know your
Mm-hmm.
scripts and dialogue and objection handlers, etc. Tonality, personality, style, and whatnot. So it's much harder to get a seller for sale by owner, expired, or whatever than it is to get a buyer. There's buyers are a dime a dozen. Buyers will go to any realtor. Buyers are not interviewing agents to see who they want to go with. Some do. The right thing is to do is
Yeah.
to interview. But most
Correct.
sellers, you're signing a contract with them. They're hiring you like hiring an attorney or a doctor. So I
Mm-hmm.
always said, doctor, lawyer, realtor. They
Ooh.
all they
Okay.
have they all sound end with an right? That
Mm-hmm.
shows you that we're an essential in the business, in the world, in the life. Real estate, buying your shelter is an essential, just like it is food, just like medication, just like auto mechanics or whatever. So,
Certainly.
one of the essentials in life, and you got to treat it as a professional business, not just get your license and become a realtor. Anybody can open up a lockbox or a door and show you a house. That's the living room. That's the dining room. But specializing in
Hmm.
expires and for sale by owners, that became my niche for many years, my brother's niche for many years, and many top producers that are friends of mine. That's how we got to where we got to and became leaders and mentors and coaches because we were in the trenches when we didn't have YouTube, algorithms, Zillow, all these buy
Hmm.
leads and buy this and buy that. We just had, okay, here's the expires of the day. Go find the phone numbers for them. Here's the for sale by owners. Call them. And here's your scripts. And here's your dialogue. Hey, Sash, can you give me my expired script board, please? Yep. So this is um, my script boards. They're raggedy. Okay.
Okay.
They're old. They're about 25, 27 years old. You can see they got, look here. That's
Oh, he's ready.
these are These are yeah, these are raggedy old script boards that I made years ago. It's got all the scripts, all the questions, all the objection handlers, all notes, sticky notes of closing
Oh,
techniques that I
wow.
wrote and made up, that I use, and I just use them as a trigger. So when I would call, I don't call anymore. My team does, and I have people that do it.
Hmm.
When I was doing it, that's what I did. I just stopped doing it probably about 3 years ago or so, and then built a team, etc. Rebuilt a team because I was on a team, went solo, then went solo for 2 years at EXP, then became a team like 3 years ago. And these scripts right here are all we knew and all we had, Kevin. So, the new generation, the new realtors, they got it really easy. They got YouTube, you can buy leads,
Yeah.
they got all the stuff, and they still don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Ask
Yeah.
me,
They don't even have to talk to people technically nowadays. They can just send them
Kevin.
messages and email
They don't
them.
want to talk to people.
No, they do not.
They want okay. I'm not gonna call. I'm just gonna text them. We
Yeah.
can barely
Yes.
get my
Yes.
kids to call me. They text me.
Yeah. So I want to know, just explain real quick, is there a difference between expireds and for sale by owners? What is the difference, and do you have an example of you helping a client through an expired transaction to help them reach their
Yeah,
goal?
great question. Sometimes I can gear off a different
No, you're
what you
perfectly
call.
fine.
So expires, people that have their homes on the market, obviously that didn't sell or we're not selling, we're not getting offers and whatnot. You know, uh, they go on a list every day. So when their property expires, they go on that list, and who's calling those lists? Most of the realtors that prospect every day, right? and
Right.
and they're going to get bombarded with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 calls right away. Like literally, once it goes on the expired list in the morning, 8
Mm-hmm.
o'clock, they're going to get ding, 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 ding. And
Woo.
before, we used to have to pull up the phone numbers and write down the phone number on the sheet. Now there's dialing systems that do it for you. You just press a button, it dials and starts calling. And then all of a sudden, each house
Really?
has three, four, five numbers attached to that property. Maybe it's their kids or parents, whoever are, and you're calling, and all you're doing is pressing a button, it's ringing. So you got to be ready to answer. You got to be ready to talk when they answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be
Mm-hmm.
something like, let's just say you say, "Hello, hey Kevin, calling about your home that came off the market, and I noticed, it's off the market. I was just calling to see, Kevin, when do you plan on putting it back on the market?" Well, I'm not really sure, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's calling me. I totally understand. Seems like a really nice house. What do you think stopped it from selling? Well, I don't know, yada, yada. Where were you thinking to move to if you did sell? I don't know, da, da, da. And so you're just going through the
Right.
five
Right.
W's we
Right.
learned in school: the who, what, where, when, why, right?
Mm-hmm.
That I
Mm-hmm.
never knew later on in life that this would be a part of my world, my life, my industry. That's expired.
Hundred
And what
percent.
I'm trying to do is trying to convince that expired seller to not give up and throw in a towel, to meet with me so I can show them a different strategy, different marketing, different aggressiveness compared to going to a doctor and you don't get, you go in the same doctor and expecting different results. That's the definition of insanity, right?
Insanity.
So,
Correct.
so my job is to convince the seller, let me just come over. Let me show you what I do different than your last agent and why it didn't sell with your last agent. And then you can decide from there if A, either you like what I have to say, or B, you don't like what I have to say, or C, I may say, you know what, Kevin, I can't help you. What you want and what
Mm.
you need won't happen and will never happen. Not with me, not with him, not with
Right. Right.
them. And I'd rather turn you down now than let you down later.
Yeah. No, and that's being honest. That's being honest, and that's what I like about actual professionals. You don't make a decision for a client. You present the options and let them make the decision from there. And that's what your job is all about. You're not there to necessarily be the decision maker. You're the advisor, the guidance counselor, if you will, the educator. Just tell them, hey, this is what I can offer. This is the difference that it can make.
Yep.
And like you said, this is why I think your home didn't sell
Yep.
previously, and these are the adjustments we
Yep.
can make, and from there you give them the option
Yep.
to choose.
Yep.
So I love that. I love
I
that.
mean, it's an obligation. It's a conversation with no obligation. That's what I always tell people.
Yes, beautiful. What about a specific approach that you take when it comes to these for sale by owners or even expireds? Is there a different way that you approach putting them on the market? Are there different types of media that you use, photos, video, etc., things of that nature?
So,
And what's the difference that you actually see too?
so I was, before all these, photography companies got into the real estate world, I was the guy that used this, right? And I have this. I was known as a selfie stick guy. I was a selfie stick
Right.
king, okay? And this one right here, like, it extends out like 5 feet, okay? So
Oh,
most
wow.
people always ask me, who's doing your videography and your photography and all that stuff? I said, I can't tell you.
That's the secret.
That's the secret, right? And this is Kevin. This is the original from 2008, my first one. You can tell how advanced it is, right? Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're upgrading them and
Yeah,
everything.
oh yeah. So
I
this
love
was
that.
the OG right here. This is a 2008. And I've got some, I get it. I get it, Kevin. You guys got your good stuff, all your, whatever you guys use. But I got different ones. But
Yes,
anyways,
we do.
so at the time, I used to take my own photos, and then I would edit them and play with them and whatever. Before the phone, I used to have a regular camera, right? But I was a showboat at the listing. The seller was there. I was putting on a show, and I would like move their furniture, put some stuff. They're like, "Wow!" I can see the husband and wife looking at him like, "Oh, this guy's good." You know what I'm saying? Now I'd move this, put that, and then when I would take pictures, I would stand on the kitchen counters, and then I'd put the selfie stick like a certain way. It was all, I'm a great actor. Okay, so it was all a show, and I'd put the selfie stick a certain way, and I like almost going to be falling and taking the picture, and I can see the seller be like, right? Okay, that's what I was doing, and I was editing the photos. I was doing what you guys do in the photography video world. But the reality is, as I got busier and bigger, and more companies like yourself and Windows and people got into the business, it's a business. You heard that. So for me, what's more important? For me to spend an extra half hour of taking the pictures and editing them and uploading and downloading, you know what I can do in an hour or 2 hours? I can sell more homes.
Yes.
So what's more profitable? Hiring Kevin and your company and, or go taking them myself and try to save that money. But I'm saving that money, but look what I'm losing.
Correct.
Or let's
The potential for more money.
Or let's just say
More clients.
I got the listing. I send you guys out. I make sure the client, and I always prep my sellers to get the house ready and whatnot before the photographer comes. I tell them what to move around. I don't tell them to spend money. I just tell them to declutter and clean. And or let's just say I send you guys out, and it takes you, a half hour to get there, an hour to take the photos, half hour to get back, and an hour to edit whatever you guys do. And I just want to sit at home, put my feet up.
Yeah.
Profit and loss.
Yep. Passive, right there. Passive action.
So for sale by owners, that's for sale by owners, expires, or listings in general, Kevin, and everybody else watching this. Treat it as a business. Hire professionals to take the photos, videos, whatever you want to do. Okay, you can do it yourself. I know you got an iPhone. You're good at it like me and I was, right? But sellers can also go for sale by owner.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
So if you're
100%.
a realtor and you're trying to convince a for sale by owner or expired to hire you, then do the right thing and hire them for this and this, okay? Give it to the professionals. You can fix your car in your garage, or you can take it to the mechanic or the dealer.
Right.
Let everybody do their part. And for sale by owners, expires, if I'm going to convince a for sale by owner to hire me and pay me, then I want to show them that they didn't make a mistake.
Correct.
I want to show them the value of hiring me and a real estate professional, not just I'm going to put a sign in front. My little son can put a sign in front, and that's what a lot of
Of
realtors do. They
course.
just put a sign in front. You got to show the seller that you're going to call. You're going to circle prospect, call around the neighborhood. You're going to call realtors. I'm going to put your property in 20, 30 real estate group chats that I have. I'm going to put your property in over 50,000 social media followers that I have. I'm going to call every realtor I know. I'm going to call every buyer I know. I'm going to call, man, I'm just going to call everybody else. And Mr. Seller, Mr.
Hmm.
Expired, or Mr. For Sale by Owner, are you going to do that? No. I tried selling my car on my own, and it took me 2 months to sell. I threw in the towel. And I called my boy that has a dealership. You know how fast he sold it? In 30 seconds. He came to my office. He gave me a check. He goes, "Take care. Have a good day."
There you go. Out of here.
That's right.
Time.
Time
That
is
tells you the
money.
value of
That's
time.
right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love that. I love that from that. And that's essentially what how it should be. When you're talking to someone who's initially going into a forced sale by owner, they're literally doing it for the most part because they want to save money. They don't want to necessarily have those expenses to pay an expert to necessarily do the marketing or go through any of the paperwork and things like that they would with a professional.
Sure.
So it's your job to actually show them the
That's right.
value in the work that you
That's
actually
right.
put in.
Yep.
And that is a steep hill to
Sure.
overcome if you're being honest, because you're trying to convince someone who didn't want to spend money to actually spend that money and invest. It's actually an investment, and that's what you're convincing them of.
Well, Kevin, if I can put more money in your pocket as a for sale by owner than you can on your own, would you hire me?
Of
Right.
course. Of course. And you're saving time, like we just talked about.
And you know how many for sale by owners I call, not as a realtor, just say I call, like I want to be a buyer. And they don't
Right,
answer
right.
me and they don't get back to me for days.
I
So
imagine. That's another aspect that I didn't even think of.
I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
that's a
you
good
think
point.
they don't know I'm a realtor. They don't even answer my
Yeah.
call. And I leave them a message. I was calling about your house that's for sale. Just calling to see how much you're asking. How many bedrooms? I'm not even telling them I'm a
Mm-hmm.
realtor. I'm a buyer. And
Mm-hmm.
they don't, you know why they don't get back to you? Because they're busy. They're at work.
And
They got their life. They got their kids. Do you think they can deal with the calls like we deal with? This is what we do for a living.
yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
that's why 95% of homes have a sign in front that says real estate, not for sale by owner. And that's why 95% of for sale by owners, after a week or two or three, say, you know what? Screw this.
Let the experts do
That's right.
it.
That's right. It's proven
That's
that
a good
realtors
point.
save hiring a professional realtor. No, again, professional realtor,
Talk about it.
aggressive realtor, knows what they're
Yes,
doing
sir.
realtor, not just a realtor. Not any
Hmm.
realtor can give you the same results. Hiring a professional realtor like myself, for example, uh, that knows what they're doing, that has a track record, has experience, okay, makes a difference of you making more money than you trying to save money. And it's a proven result that you make more money with paying a commission by hiring a realtor than trying to do it on your own. It's proven.
I agree. Well said. Well said. I agree too. Thank you for stamping that and approving that. I want to talk about this whole probate situation too. Another thing that you are an
Yeah.
expert in, you've dealt with, and you say nationwide also.
Yep.
So one thing I want to start with is getting into the whole probate situation. It's already a situation where people are probably grieving because of, the fact that they even have to be in that situation because of the loss of a loved one or some
Yep.
situation. So how do you step in to build that trust and rapport with some complete strangers for the most part to offer your services when they're going through this grieving process?
First of all, because I've been doing probates for 20 plus years, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm a very, I'm a very soft, caring person. I'm not an introvert. I'm an extrovert, but I get when people are grieving what it's like, because I I've got clients that own funeral homes. I bought my house from a funeral home owner. Just coincidence, so I know like the
Mm-hmm.
emotions of losing a brother or a loved one or whatever. There's a lot involved. You're not thinking real estate, you're not thinking house,
Of
you're
course.
thinking
Mm-hmm.
emotions, you're thinking what you lost. So I don't know of any other realtor in the state of Michigan that has a niche or a specialty in probate. I've yet to run into one that does the amount of probate I do. And many law firms know of me, call me, hire me, because if they don't recommend the right realtor and the seller or the heirs of the estate go hire a realtor they know or they like and they trust, which they can do. The differences in probate, Kevin, is there's a lot more involved than just putting it for sale. You
Right.
got to
Right.
know who the personal representative is of the estate. You got to know if they've got the letters of authority to become the personal representative. You got to know who the law firm is, who the
Mm.
attorney is, and you got to know what to do in court when you're in court for that estate, for that sale. You got to know what a guardian ad litem is, which a person, another attorney looks over all the stuff. Uh, you got to know who the decision makers. If there's a personal representative, is there any other siblings? Are there spouses? Are there kids? Are there heirs? And sometimes they're in different parts of the country. So you got to
Yes.
know who you're
Yes.
talking to, who you're dealing with, and sometimes I'll take a property, it won't go on the market for let's say a few weeks or a month because there's stuff, you know, clutter or personal sentimental stuff from years. We have to do an estate sale, so sometimes I got to get a company to do a inventory count of what's in there and to see what we can sell, what we can't. I got to see if it's a trash out, a clean out, a donation, or an estate sale.
Hmm.
If there's 10, 15, $20,000 of stuff to be sold, then I'm not going to do a trash out or a clean out or donate. We're going to get my company that does estate sales to um, do that sale. That can take 3, 4, 5 weeks getting things organized and cleaned and lined up. And then I can put on the market. So there's
Hmm.
just so
Hmm.
many things that, and 99% of my transactions get approved in court because I've already done all my homework. I've done my research. I've done my market evaluation. I've done my marketing. I put on the market in a way it's not going to scare people from buying a estate sale or probate because a lot of people think it takes 6 months, 5 months, 9 months to close. With me, they take 30 to 60, maybe 90 days tops, depending on what county. Like Wayne County
Oh,
takes,
that's good. Oh, that's what's up.
yeah, Wayne County, Kevin, takes longer than most counties, but in general, it's a bigger
Hmm.
county. But in general, 1 to 2 months, I'll get it done, I'll get it closed, and I'll get it approved. And my title company, who I work with, First Centennial Title in Livonia, she's been dealing with me for 20 plus years because she was my assistant for 10 years. And then she's also a realtor and she now been at the title company for 10 years. So she's very equipped with that knowledge. So the realtor handling probate, Kevin, has got to have the team, the title company, the law firm, the trash out, the clean out, the estate sale
Hmm.
person. You got to know how to market it on the MLS so that it's not like alarms everywhere. Estate sale, as is, probate, court approval, yada
Right.
yada yada.
Right.
Be careful, be careful. You don't want that. And I'm very very well equipped, and not just here. It started out just here in the metro area. Then I said, man, if I can do it here, why can't I do it up there? Then I started reaching out to
Mm.
up north, Marquette or whatever different parts of the right now I got one in Marquette, one in Sault Ste. Marie. I've got them
Okay.
all over the state,
Oh
and
wow. Yeah, you up there?
yeah, I'm not physically up there, but I got my team, my agents up there.
Okay. Okay.
So they're
Got
my
you.
boots
Right.
on the ground, my eyes and ears on that
Hmm.
property, but I'm handling the property.
Hmm.
So basically the estate gets two realtors instead of one. One is up there, one is down here. They're my eyes and ears, hands and feet, but I'm the guy
Hmm.
that's doing everything. Title, all,
Yep.
because I don't want to just be the guy that just becomes like a referring agent to people. I want to be
Hmm.
involved. And these
Right.
lawyers and law firms are relying on me. So if I just give it to somebody else that doesn't know what they're doing in estate and probate, it's a
Your name is
mess.
still on the
My name's
line.
on the line, and
Yep.
that deal won't close. So the attorneys in the state won't get their money unless we sell the real estate. So there's a lot
Hmm.
involved, and I don't want to be just a realtor that just refers stuff out. I
Right.
still
Right.
want my hands in
No.
it.
Well said. No, well said, Al. Thank you for putting that point in there because, like we said, man, people are going through things already, and the last thing that they want to think about is real estate or what are they going to do with all of these things. So if they can just easily hand that off to a professional that can take care of it and take care of it in great time too, because nobody wants that to be stretched out. You stretch out the period of that probate, you're still bringing up the whole situation of them losing someone or whatever that unfortunate situation is. So they're continuously thinking about that, stressing over the probate and the transaction. So getting someone who actually knows what they're doing, familiar with it. You said 99% close rate in courts. You clearly know what you're doing and you know how to do it
And
efficiently,
I
man.
and I'm getting sellers top dollar. I'm not, and I've got a lot
Mm.
of investors that call me all the time. Hey, if you get these probate, hey, if you get this, I said, listen, My job is to net the sellers the most money. Seller, estate, heirs, whoever's involved in that deal, whether it be a regular seller or a probate seller, right?
Yeah.
And if I just give you that opportunity, Mr. Buyer, that benefits you. That does not benefit my seller. That's like when sellers tell you, "Oh, just bring me a buyer." Okay, great. So you want me to bring you a buyer to work against you? No. You want me to get you the most money. So mass market it. So that's what I do. I mass market it to all the areas, all the state, all the country, all the sites, all the internets, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I basically, I've always said this as an example. I market your home to the whole football stadium, not just to the front row.
Nice.
I put on the
Nice.
Jumbotron,
Nice.
not just a for sale sign. So
Yep.
my job is to get everybody in there, and whoever is the best offer is not always the highest offer, but the highest.
Correct.
So for me, highest is not always best. Highest chance of closing is best. Because if I get a buyer that's rush, want to go, and needs to move in tomorrow, that's not the right buyer for probate. The one that's willing
Mm-hmm.
to wait and patient with me, that's the best
Mm-hmm.
buyer. So I net people
Yep.
the most money and sell it for top dollar. I don't give them away. I don't underprice them. I don't, just these are not like, okay, well they inherited it, just give it away and let some buyer benefit out of it. Nope, that's not me.
Yep. And I can see that too. Now that you mention it, you want to work with somebody who's going to work with whatever contingencies that you have laid out at the time too. Like if you need to close at a certain date, or if you need, certain things done or transferred, then you want to work with somebody who's willing to make those different negotiations rather than somebody who just has a lot of money and just want to close right then and there. So
Yeah, I'm
I
on
get
your
that.
side. You put me. If I'm in the buyer side, if I'm on the seller side. I represent my client's best interest. Period. That's not negotiable.
As you should, sir. I got another question for you. I just want to kind of see where your interest and your head is. Do you have a book, movie, quote, or just overall philosophy that you live by that helps shape your life professionally or personally that you can share with us?
So last time I read a book was in fifth grade.
Okay.
Okay. I
That's
love
okay.
audio. I love audio. So
Oh
all
yeah,
my
facts.
career, I've always listened to Mike Ferry, real estate coach, Floyd Wickman, real estate coach, Tom Ferry, Matthew Ferry, Shadi Bazzi. I've got real estate coaches that when I'm at the gym, I used to have the Walkman with the cassette player. Kevin, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if you remember those, but the Walkman with the cassette
Are
player.
you saying in 2024 you still have a Walkman?
No,
Is that what you're trying to tell me?
used
Oh,
to,
okay.
used to.
I was gonna say, whoa.
Yeah, so Walkman with the cassette player, and people used to think I'm listening to jams while I'm working out. And no,
Right, right,
I'm
right.
listening to real estate coaches. So I'm a big fan of,
Mm.
real estate coaches. Now it's on my phone on YouTube. And sometimes I've
Yes,
watched a video
yes.
probably 20 times. I'll watch it 30 times. When I watched 20 years ago, I'll watch it today. So I'm a big fan of when I'm at the gym, I'm listening to any kind of motivational speaker, real estate coach. Books. I've tried doing podcast. What do they call them? What's books? Audiobooks.
Audiobooks.
I've
Yep.
tried that. It's just for me, like the only time I can do that is when I'm at the gym, and when I'm at the gym, I need something just like to just keep me going. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. To
And
pump you up.
and,
I feel
and
that.
books
Yeah.
for me, it's just not me, bro. But motivational
I understand.
speakers, Tony Robbins or any Zig Ziglar or anybody that is going to
Mm.
keep my blade sharpened and moving forward, because I'm a big fan of putting blinders and just keep looking forward so that I don't get no distractions of people slowing me down. Because
Man,
Kevin,
for real.
there's a lot of people
For
going to slow you
real.
down until you can't do it. Everybody
Man.
told me I made the biggest mistake leaving my old brokerage. And that right there, I said, look, I'm going to show and prove the world wrong. And
Mm-hmm.
those same people that said you made a mistake are now saying, hey, man, wow, you're killing it. You're crushing it. So, hey, you need
Exactly.
naysayers and you need haters. I love the haters.
Yes,
I
sir.
love the naysayers, because all they're doing is pumping me up to prove to them that I did not make a mistake and I can kill it and I can crush it. Don't ever let
Yeah,
anybody tell
man.
you you can't do it.
Yeah, man. And whatever motivates you or inspires you to get up and put that fire on, go
Yeah.
do it, man. And that's why we didn't just close it off to just a book. It could be a movie. It could be a quote that anybody said. It could just be philosophy that motivates you also. So either way it go, man, stay motivated, continue to move, continue to grind and hustle. And thank you so much, Al, for pulling up a chair to the closing
Yeah.
table and sharing your story. We appreciate it. At this point, if you have any last words and or want to tell people how to reach out to you, The
Yeah,
floor is
absolutely. You can
yours.
go to my website, alsellsit.com. You can call me, text me 313-718-5000. My website has everything. It's got my landing page, got my client video testimonials. It's got everything you need on my website, alsellsit.com. If you got probate, if you got regular, buying, selling, commercial, residential, multifamily, statewide, nationwide, and worldwide, because I am internationally also. So I'm doing properties in Dubai and Australia and different parts of the
Ooh.
country. I've got transactions everywhere. It's not me by myself. I've got a team. I've got people. I've
Mm-hmm.
got the systems and the platforms. So whatever you need, wherever you need, however you need, I can handle it. I can connect you with the right people, and I'll be involved also. And more importantly, just remember, you become what you think about most of the time. If you think you can, you can. And if you think you can't, you're right.
Correct. Well said. Perfect place to land the plane. Thank you so much again, Al. We appreciate you. And for our YouTube audience watching right now, if you gotten to this point in the video, do us both a favor and hit the like button. Make sure you also share the content and subscribe to our channel. And if you are listening on Apple, Spotify, or any other podcast platforms, please do the same. Give us a like, 5-star rating, and subscribe for our latest content. Al, on the way out the door, I always like to leave our audience with a question. So this is for you to think, audience. Have you ever bought a home or sold a home on a land contract? And if so, what was your experience? Don't tell us now. Leave it in the comments below. Besides that, talk to
Just
you
want
next
to add
time.
one last thing. If you're on social media, you do want to follow me on social media. I did forget to tell you. On Instagram, it's Al Abdallah EXP Realty. On Facebook, it's just Al Abdallah or EXP Dearborn. And on Snapchat, I think it's Al Abdallah EXP, and LinkedIn, or what's the other one? TikTok. Just look up my name, Al Abdallah Realty, EXP Realty. You'll find me.
Perfect. Well said. Thanks again.